You can put the sword away. It's only me here. I'm just a human being. I was never taught how to fight a vampire anyway, not even in self-defense. This is going to sound very weird, but it's so good to smell a vampire again, especially one who smells so ancient like you. It's a weird little talent that I have. I can smell vampires. Copper and iron is how you all start out smelling to me, but as my feelings develop and change, the scents each become personal and unique. It, ones that I like will have very pleasant scents, ones that I have love will have amazing scents, and the ones that I hate or fear or utterly despise will stink in ways you can't imagine. And it even changes depending on whether or not I'm angry at you. Being very rude and very strange. What's your name? That's a good name. I like it. Technically, I don't have a name. I was put under a curse when I was a child. It stole my name and later on other things. Just left me with the moniker Vampire Fangirl. I shouldn't be surprised that you've heard of me. I guess I'm kind of a legend. The court? The court left in a hurry. They were all young vampires, not a single one over 50, but the majority, they'd only been a vampire 1 or 2 years. They thought if they built their court in fairy territory that they could stay away from their sires, break free of their control. And they kidnapped me from the court that I was in because, well, I don't have a true name, therefore the fairies can't control me. So who better to be their unwilling ambassador to hammer out the treating, right? One of the vampires, he was so stupid! Even though we warned him, even though we told him over and over again that they're not like the fairies in Disney or in romance novels, he thought he was stupid enough to give them his true name. And when the fairies sent us back here, making it clear that they would never willingly share their territory with vampires, first thing they did, despite the distance between the courts, they were able to control him to make him rip off his own head. And it caused a panic, and the vampires and their donors, they all left, and left me behind. The next day, all the food, the fresh food, I should say, rotted instantaneously. I'm sure the fairies had something to do with it. And then these rats that didn't seem like normal rats came and they ate everything that was dried and preserved that was in boxes and bags. All I have left is the canned food. That was the only thing that they couldn't get at. I know it doesn't look like it because I'm so fat, but I've limited myself to 1 meal a day and drinking lots of water to hold off the hunger pains. I'm almost out of food though, and I'm afraid to go down to the village. I'm terrified that if I leave this place, the fairies will grab me. I've scrounged up every piece of iron I could find and hammered it into the window sills and the door frames to try to keep them out. It's worked so far, it seems. Now you're here. You're gonna take me with you, right? When you leave, you're not gonna leave me here to starve or be captured by them. Thank you. Thank you for coming to rescue me, even if you didn't know that that's why you came. It's almost dawn. Are you one of those vampires who need to sleep during the day, or can you resist the sun? Okay, well, there's plenty of rooms to choose from, and Guess what? Every room has their own bathroom. Not only for donors that were spending the night with their vampire, but also because it seemed like every vampire in this court was obsessed with bubble baths. I'll show you the way. That was the king's room. It's obviously the most luxurious, so if you want to stay the night there, or I should say stay the day there, and yes, that was my room. Yes, I know it looks like a cell. That's because it was a cell. Not a single vampire here took me as a lover or a donor or anything. I was just here to serve as an ambassador to the fairies and nothing else. Um, I propped the door open as best I could and transferred the majority of my stuff. Not that I have a lot to another room, but there's still a few things I need to get, except I'm afraid that if I go in there, the door will slam shut behind me. And, well, I love how you just crushed the hinges like if they were dried leaves. Thank you for that. Um, well, at least they didn't put me in chains. I never want to be in chains again. It's another long story. It happened about 2 years ago, but it's not something I want to talk about. Anyway, this is where I've been sleeping. Um, well, if you want to share my room, I'm a little too tired and weak to actually do anything, though. But we can talk about that once I've gotten my strength back up and we'll talk about my hard and soft limits and everything. Just to warn you, I am a primal submissive brat. So if you're not into that, um, okay, so you are into that. You're quite the flirt, aren't you? All right. Well, obviously, there's no bagged blood, and there's no other donors, and there's no animals. So, did you eat in the village at all? Okay, good. Well, still, if you want a nightcap, neck or wrist, you can pick whichever you prefer. Can the thigh wait until we've had some time together? Normally, I wouldn't hesitate, but I haven't had a decent meal in weeks. Thank you. Anyway, I guess I'll get ready for bed. And if you want a bath, there's the bathroom. Yes, the necklace always has to stay within reach. It's actually tied to my curse. If I get more than 6 feet away from it, I start having seizures, high fever, and eventually slip into a coma. They've tried to destroy it. It didn't turn out well. Okay, I'm ready anytime you are. No, no, it's okay. I actually enjoy being tickled. Um, okay, okay. Um, not already? Yes, I realize you need to feed lightly from me so I have strength for the journey ahead. Still, that felt very good. Thank you. Um, sweet dreams.